Hey folks, welcome to the follow-up to my Create Your Officers Call to Arms, whatever you want to call it, Nobunaga's Ambition 2019 campaign, and I'm the Mysterious JG. So I've gone through and I've made a bunch of officers, and I wanted to put a video out there letting everyone know they've got approximately 1 week because I'm cutting this thing off. Now, there's really three categories of people that I want to talk to. Anybody who still wants to donate $100 to Zerf's charity stream can do so, or the charity can do so. And if you do so, you can still have a create a character added to my Nobunaga's Ambition LP. Anybody who donated $100 already and didn't realize, you could submit a character from my Nobunaga's Ambition LP. And here's kind of the most unusual category, but it's out there. People who submitted a character to my previous LP and donated $100 to the charity this year, but didn't hit me up in the comments and either give me a new character or ask me to submit their old character. Now, I had like Laurentian, I believe. Actually, he gave me the stats again from his old character, although as it turns out, I still have all the old characters saved. So he didn't need to, but he did, and that's an example of one person who donated and asked for their old character to be put in the new LP. Other people like All Dragon donated and created a new character. Earl King is the one person I noticed who donated, had given me a character before, but never showed up and asked for a new character or asked to have his old character put in. So here's what I'm letting you know. I went ahead and threw Earl King's old character in, but only because I happened to notice. Now, Earl King named his character in-game after his username, which is also the name that donated. So I was able to notice as I was flipping through characters, hey, Earl King, didn't he donate? And I checked, yeah, he did. But there's probably other people in the same boat who already, several years ago when I did this, they donated and they made a character, and this year they could be back in. But for whatever reason, they didn't drop in and give me a new character. So, Earl King, I keep wanting to call him Earl König. Earl King, I threw him in, but I could have been a dick about it and not thrown him in. I might find out later he didn't want to be in. Apologies, I guess. Reply to this video, Earl King, and tell me, no, I don't want to be in your LP. Screw you, if you're so inclined. Or give me a new character to do instead. But, I'm thinking most people would just as soon have a character in if they're were fans of my channel before who put in characters. So I'm just letting you know, it's just a coincidence I noticed with Earl King. If anybody else, if I find out after the deadline that you donated and that you didn't give me a character, there's not a whole lot I'm going to be able to do about it. I have to put an end date on this thing. So just letting you guys know. Okay? That being said, in case anybody's confused about whether or not they already have a character in, or what the rules are for this, and I forgot to say, I'm recording this on August 10th, 2019, Saturday. So, I'm actually kind of ready to go and start recording, except I've got too many LPs going at the same time. But otherwise, I'd be all about recording some of this right now. I'm really kind of amped up and excited about this series. But I'm going to give everybody until August 17th, 2019. Is the last date that you can reply on to this or the Call to Arms video previous to this one, and let me know that you want your character included. Again, if you donated $100 or more. You will notice, we're going to run through the characters I already have real quick. You will probably notice that there's some folks, I don't want you going behind looking at Zerfall's donator list and trying to check other people's donation amounts. Let's be cool here, guys. But there are a few folks who I went ahead and threw them in based on their participation in the stream itself, and a handful of those, not very many. And indeed, most of the people who participated in the stream also donated money, so they got in anyway. So don't take it upon yourself to go researching other people's donation amounts. That's just super tacky. The one person who got in based on didn't necessarily participate in the stream, but I threw them in anyway, was Vulture Bean, who I already had a character for, and she also gave birth to my nephew, so I figure I can take it upon myself to include her in my LPs if I want to. She's not going to watch it anyway, most likely. But if she does, I hope that she enjoys. Anyway, let's do a quick new game, because I'm going to showcase what the plan is for this series. I'm not sure what I paid for with the DLC, actually, because the One-Eyed Dragon scenario is just the Kyosu Conference scenario played as the Date, but very slightly changed starting positions. And it doesn't come with new historical quests for the Date. So to do all the historical quests for the Date involves playing Kyosu Conference, then quitting out, or actually not quitting out. You can do a couple of different ones at the Kyosu Conference scenario, but then you got to quit and go to Battle of Sekigahara, because things that are dependent on actions outside of the Date's control have to happen to set up the Battle of Sekigahara scenario. And if you just play from Masamune's ascent to the beginning, there's nothing you can do to make the other forces do what's needed to set up the Sekigahara scenario, which does have a historical quest for the Date. So if you just start playing as Masamune, the Hojo aren't going to fall, for example. Now, the Hojo were like the bane of my existence when I played this game as the Oda, but it's not like I have this great grudge against the Hojo and don't want to deal with them. It's just that if you actually play the Kyosu Conference scenario, Masamune takes over from his father and you just try to rise. There are going to be historical quests that you never get to do because they just won't unlock properly, because things like, the fall of the Hojo and the ascent of Hideyoshi are just not going to happen with the AIs just battling each other according to AI rules. So my plan is to do the Kyosu Conference, do all the Date quests that we get there. Then we're going to kind of jump out, and almost certainly I'll have them all finished well before 1600. And we'll jump into Sekigahara, and I'll just have voiceover narration. It's like those old Doctor Who episodes, the black and white ones, that episodes are missing, so they would record linking narration with the guy who played the Brigadier or the guy who played the Doctor would record linking narration between episodes 1 and 3 of some William Hartnell serial. So I'll do linking narration explaining what happened, and boom, we jump ahead to 1600. But all of our created characters will still be there, and that's the point of this video. So let's just jump in and see what's going on in July of 1582 with the Date clan under the rule of Teramune. By the way, you can say something one way or the other in the comments, but I haven't played through this game many, many, many times over. I'm just planning on playing all the defaults. I'm not going into messing with anything. So here we have Yoshinaga Konishi, who has this awesome clown outfit on. The famed clan of Oshu the Date, skipping through their messages at super speed. Can you imagine how exciting it'll be, folks, when we actually read through that stuff slowly and carefully? You're going to love it. I know you are. And here we got to capture Maramori Castle.
Let us begin the meeting.
What Grimmett is in charge of our force? I don't understand.
Because, in fact, we've already loaded up our created officers so far. So we've got our own clan officers. Easiest way to tell which ones are created is to go to the screen that should have a biography. So we've got Teramune, we've got his various advisors, his son Masamune, we have his wife, we have Kujuro Katakura, who is like a close friend and associate to Masamune. And we scroll down the list, and suddenly we have, without a biography, Mysterious JG. Well, Mysterious JG is going to be, I gave myself an extra trait because I felt like it, because it's my LP. But Mysterious JG is a progressive. He's super intelligent. He's got super political skills. And as you can see, he shows loyalty and conduct. We have Earl King, who I just threw in. Earl King, if you're watching and you want to change anything about your character, comment on this video and let me know. If you don't want to be in the LP, comment on this video and let me know. If you want to change your birth year so that you're not 64 at the beginning of this scenario, comment and let me know. Otherwise, you're going to be hanging around as a 64-year-old cunning fox who shows loyalty and conduct. Uncle Baldo Fall has also joined us. He was almost completely absent from my prior LP because he was serving in an obscure corner of Hokkaido. Well, not an obscure corner of Hokkaido, but he was in Hokkaido, which is an obscure corner of this map. He often objects to orders and appears to be discontent. So, we're going to have trouble with that one. That one's going to be a pain in the butt. But he's 18 years old, so he's at about the right age for this whole thing. And then we have Kabuki character Senryo Kiyoshiro from Samurai Shodown. We have Toriyama Risaru, aka Lethal Feline. He sometimes shows blatant hostility. Keeping master-retainer relationship may be difficult. So, Lethal, I quick got his permission to throw his old character into this LP. You might remember from my former LP, he was a soldier, military officer fighting with the Hojo, and was a huge pain in my ass, so it'll be fun to have him on my side, even if he is going to be a huge pain in my ass, because his required loyalty is higher than his loyalty. If you feel like changing your character, Lethal, please let me know, up to and including reducing your required loyalty. Although, I can't imagine why you'd want to do that. It's probably more fun to roleplay with you as a kind of, bit of a pain in the ass. All that being said, the squeaky wheels will get the grease. I always appreciate the characters like my own, who has a low required loyalty. So I'll have to give gifts and stuff to Lethal's character to keep him happy, but I will talk smack about him as I do so. And we have Grimmeth Reaper, who even has a higher required loyalty, the max possible required loyalty. Sometimes shows blatant hostility. Well, that sounds like Grimmeth. But again, Grim, if you want to change your character, write in and let me know. Otherwise, we'll have fun with the fact he's actually has an extremely similar build to JG Mystery as far as being a brilliant political officer. But he's got a very high opinion of himself and will be rather difficult to deal with. Why he is the one who speaks at meetings to start JG Mystery, I do not know. And you got Vulture Bobo. He shows loyalty and conduct and can be trusted as a retainer. Of course he can. Even though his tactic is bond breaker, apparently he's entirely trustworthy. I guess it just as it happens, other than Earl King, all of the people who are involved in the stream or otherwise people I know in real life have come first, but we've got other people's created officers to come. Vulture Bean, very good overall officer who shows loyalty and conduct. She also has a super high loyalty. People's loyalty scores vary based on things like what their tenet and ideals are, which is why I can see Grimmeth has higher loyalty than Lethal, but is just as what's the word I'm looking for? Not hostile, but when you disrespect authority. I'm blanking on the word, but he's just as bad because his required loyalty is higher than Lethal's. So we got the Vulture Clan. Then we have Hamuko Arisato. That's Laurentian's character. Laurentian just made the option of keeping his old character with a new birth date. She emits strong loyalty and will likely perform above abilities. So she's a good overall character. Her only weakness is she's not going to do a ton of damage as an officer in combat. Then we have Shaman Yamazaki, who's clearly up to something the way he's tweaking that mustache. He shows loyalty and conduct and is going to be a great war officer. We have Colin Owari Sanada. He shows loyalty and conduct and is a good overall officer. Everybody's a good overall officer because, although I didn't check the math behind to make sure nobody cheated, the rules that I gave you guys as far as assigning points to leadership, valor, or valiancy, intelligence, and politics, you had enough points to distribute that everybody's going to be above average. You're a bunch of Lake Woebegone kids, basically. We have Akari Ando, so far the only character who has a little bit of like a role-play thing going on where the person who submitted this character gave me a little description of what they imagine her to be like. She has extremely high loyalty, but also shows blatant hostility because part of her character, and I guess, if you're going to get into the whole roleplay thing, I can respect that they built this person. She's really difficult to get along with. She seems to have a really high opinion of herself. That's what I always make of the high required loyalty. But otherwise, she lines up really nicely with the Date, so we will have to see. Well, no, she's got only +2. I think I'll get along well with my master. My liege, Toramune, and I seek to create the same kind of world. So we'll see, actually. Her loyalty will probably go down when Masamune takes over, because she's got a boost from... She's got boosts that are related to Toramune. So she might be a pain in the ass. We might have to put her in charge of a castle or give her a title just to keep her around. But her overall stats are high enough. Any of these characters, we're going to want to keep them around. Now, of course, we have All Dragon's character. I almost threw in the old All Dragon, too, but I've got enough created characters at this point. Elemendreda, the Avatar. I know that, you know, if you're a fan of All Dragon's channel, you know how he pronounces Elemendreda. And of course, she's known as Lemmy for short. If you want to gamble, I'm your man. Win some, lose some, it's all the same to me. I mean, that's what she is, right? Like, he just calls her Lemmy all the time, I thought. But anyway, she's Elemendreda, the Avatar, is obviously a relation of the true Avatar, who is Ray Chesney. But super high intelligence and pretty good at everything else, and shows loyalty and conduct. We have Lady Tolpanzer, shows loyalty and conduct. We have Bloody Handed, who emits strong loyalty. Again, his loyalty will probably take a little bit of a hit when Masamune takes over, because he seems to get on really well with Toramune, and Masamune and Toramune don't have exactly the same personality, but I think we'll be able to keep him happy. We have Eventide Fate, who shows discontent on occasion. She seems to hold slight dissatisfaction. And then we get back into the other characters. So there you go, folks. If this is one of your characters, you are good to go. Pause over your character and see if anything is wrong with how you were submitted, and let me know. Otherwise, if you're like, hey, I thought I was going to be in this thing, I don't see my character. Now is kind of your last chance. You've got a week to let me know in the comments and get involved. You can also submit a character if you haven't already done so. Again, you got a week. Anytime after... Let me switch my input so I can see the date. Anytime after Saturday, the 17th of August, 2019, no new submissions or alterations to existing submissions will be considered, and I will be free to start the LP at any time. I'm not making any promises on when I will actually be able to start, but anytime after next Saturday, I am clear to get going. If you donated with the intention of creating a character and somehow missed out, I apologize, but bear in mind, it was still a good thing to donate. You supported a good cause. Thanks to everybody who donated, whether you donated enough to get in my LP or not. Special thanks to everybody who donated and wants to participate. Looking forward to conquering Japan with you guys in the name of the Date, the Lords of Oshu, and Dogtown. Catch you guys next time. Bye-bye. Or sayonara.